everybody, man? Hopefully everybody's feeling loved and blessed as always. Welcome back to another Kids Room podcast episode. Today, we're going to be talking about something that could probably get into everybody's life. I know I've been through it. I know my friends have been through it. I know even the person that's watching this video, you've probably been through the same thing. On how some things end, but then even when they feel like they're ending, it's going to be a new beginning. And that just means it's a full circle. So that's what today is about. Full circle in 2025, how every ending becomes a new beginning. Because we often think a lot that we get discouraged at a closed door or a closed opportunity or a no. Then we should really be just getting excited about that. We should really be starting to understand the subliminal message that God is trying to provide for us. That even though things come to an end, that even though a door is closed, that opportunity didn't work out, doesn't mean that nothing ever is going to work out in life. That things aren't built up against you. And sometimes it feels like that not God, but life. Life is against us. Everything is against us. But that's because God is trying to shift you in a position or into a path that is specifically for you. So even I sometimes feel as if I tried things that other people were doing and it wasn't working for me. I was trying things that other people were good at and doing things like that because I felt like maybe I could get good at it. And you know what? Over time I did. I can get good at a lot of things. You can get good at a lot of things. We all can if we spend enough time doing it, right? But is that really for you? And when God wants to shift you in a different position and then he's doing it quickly and you have to go through these experiences, we start to be discouraged because it's a death to one old life and a renewal to a new one. Except the renewal to the new one is something that is unknown in the moment, and it's something that we have to make the most of. Right now, we are living in that renewal moment, in that renewal of life. You used to be somebody at one point. You used to do this. You used to do that, right? But now you're different, right? And it goes on to say in Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 through 19, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." That God is providing a way no matter even if there's no way. That even in the darkness, God is providing the light. That is even if you can't see what's in front of you, you just got to keep taking the next step. Because God is providing a way, even in the wilderness. When you don't know which way is any direction, when you don't know which way north, south, east, and west is, which you don't know which decision to really make, that you have to give it to Christ. That you're giving it to God and saying, God, I trust you in this situation. It's bigger than me. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with it. Lead me and show me the correct way. Lead me and show me the correct decision to make on the, on the situation. Because sometimes we can get full of emotion that we are blinded to what things are common sense, to what things that we should not be missing, but we do, right? So you have to be careful with that. We go from kids to adults. We go from being parented to being parents, right? That we go on from depending on others in our household that we grew up with, right? And then people start to depend on us. Because everything is a phase in life. And that's so bittersweet when you hit your 20s, and you start to get to your later 20s and you start to realize that life is real and things are going to keep going no matter what happens. And that you did appreciate, or you might have regretted, or you didn't think that you took enough time to appreciate your younger days. And now you appreciate them even more. And it goes on to say in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 through 5, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing." The biggest thing, though, whenever you're realizing a time, it's always a time to do this, a time to do that. It's a time and a place, and a time and a place. It's for you to decide on your best judgment on when that time and place is. And we have to be careful. That's why I have to ask God for wisdom and knowledge because of that. I have to know when there's a time to cry and when there's a time to be happy about things. I have to know when there's a time to overthink and when there's a time to not overthink. I have to know when there's a time to be patient and to be respectful rather than trying to be boastful and speak outwardly and pridefully with my tongue, and to rather just hold myself together. So when things come full circle, right, after many experiences happen to you, it just happens to make us grow. And everything that happens to us, right, was not to hurt us, was not to kill us, but to open our eyes and open our minds, right? And God wants us to expand. God wants us to be spread out, right? He wants us to be able to live a lifestyle that is successful, but also abundance and plentiful, right? Not just money, not just status, not just fame, right? But really, none of that. None of that is what God even wants for us, really. That just comes with it because that's just in the world. Realistically, like, God probably could care less. God is everything. God is everything. God owns everything. So whatever happens to us, it doesn't really matter. Like, when you die, like, your money's still gonna be spent. When you die, like, else is gonna live in your house over time. Like, our names aren't even gonna be remembered in a couple 100 years and things like that. But we have to see that it goes on to say in Proverbs chapter 19 verses 21, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. So whenever you get a shift in pace in life, or you feel as if things are just flipping upside down, but maybe they're going right side up, that at that moment in time that was going right side up for you, but then you walking into more of a deeper area in life that maybe you have to depend on God more. You have to be patient more. You have to grow more, because that's what's going to mature you in life. God is going to prepare you. God is not ill preparing you for things that are coming in life. God is preparing you to full circle and to make you do a whole 180. And then you're going to realize that in 2025, God did everything for you. That everything that you thought was going to be on your downfall, that the enemy is a liar. That the enemy is trying to tell you that things ain't going to be working. Yeah, it's starting off in January, and it's January 2025, and it ain't going to end the same. It's going to be worse for you if it ain't getting better in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Like, we're only in January, and people are giving up on goals and things like that. We have to be consistent this year. We have to be knowledgeable and wise this year. We have to make the right decisions this year. We have to be encouraged on the opportunities, and to know when something ends, we have to be excited for that. Because especially if it ends abruptly, sometimes it has to. Because God sees things ahead of you that you don't even see yet, that dangerous and cautious, and God wants to bring you back. And to be excited about that, that's what I'm excited for in 2025, man. That's what I'm excited for, to really see what God really has in my life. You know, the last few years have been a roller coaster. And, you know, I appreciate God for all of that. I have to thank God for that. I have to appreciate God for the good and the bad days, no matter what, you know. But you know what, 2025, being more aware of everything now, I'm going to be more mindful. And we should all be more mindful on how things could start one way and end up in a whole nother direction. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Nice, sweet message. I hope everyone is just loved and blessed, and just follow your purpose. And even when you're in the unfamiliar, know that God is going to full circle it back in 2025 into the familiar now. So thank y'all. Like, share this, subscribe, bruh. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.